today I'm bringing you an interview with a man who's been in the news. I feel like he's been massively misrepresented, and I think you very much deserve to have your story told, and I'd like to get the whole scope of things.
For sure.
I don't really know what to call you at this point either, though, because I understand we're in a little bit of a transition name-wise.
Yeah. Plus, most people don't even know how to pronounce my name. My name is Onye.
Okay. Yeah. Spell it?
ONE-YA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you from initially? Let's just go from the beginning.
I'm from Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your upbringing like?
I was raised by my dad. I didn't really know my mom like that too much. But, yeah, 6 brothers, 3 sisters, all raised by my disabled father.
Really?
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's a lot of kids to take on for one man, especially, I don't know what kind of disability exactly.
He like bedridden.
Really?
So he can't even get out of bed.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
And was it a bit, I hear Mississippi and I think I picture like, you know, more of a country upbringing. Is that accurate?
I was born in Mississippi, but I was mostly raised in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't really country, but it was ghetto.
What part of Chicago? Or
South Side.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were in the
Yeah, for sure.
Until what age?
Until like 4 years ago. I moved away like 4 years ago.
And I mean, we interview so many like Chicago drill rappers, but throughout my life, I've also known a lot of like normal people from Chicago. So where did your life kind of fall on that spectrum?
I was in like a treacherous area, you know, but I ain't try to like become I ain't try to become like my environment, you know. So I typically like stayed out of certain shit, but you know, I couldn't avoid certain at the same time. So
yeah, because I feel like we always kind of end up in that conversation about how difficult it would be for somebody who grew up in a certain gang neighborhood to basically just be like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with that, knowing that their rival gangs might view you as just as much of a target as a result of being from there. There's all kinds of stories in Chicago lore about people getting killed for just being from somewhere, even if they weren't actually like part of a gang.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like we all, like usually how that shit go, like we all went to the same school. So it all really depends on who you hang around too. So I had a very small circle growing up. I just tried to stay out of certain shit, but like I said, some shit was unavoidable. I done been shot at before.
Really?
Yeah, multiple times actually.
Wow.
Just like being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. So, but yeah, majority of the time I just like stayed out the way.
Right. And what kind of kid were you? Like, how would you describe your personality?
I was a kid, bro. I was a kid in Chicago. I done did some like crazy shit, you know, but I wasn't like a menace. I wasn't terrible like some people I know. But yeah, I was a pretty cool kid. I think so most of the time.
So on a scale of Lupe Fiasco to Fredo Santana.
Right. I was like,
you're like closer to which
I'm
one?
like closer to Lupe.
Sorry, Lupe.
I believe so.
I don't know what Lupe was doing.
Oh God, you don't know nothing about that man.
Yeah, he might have been into some crazy shit. I don't know. And also Fredo Santana, certainly probably not the most extreme.
Right.
I would have said like Rondo number 9 or like,
God, yeah.
one of them dudes.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're a little bit more wilder, I think. But okay, so because I'm just saying that based on the fact that we kind of came to know you from making online content. So were you kind of more into that state of mind as a young dude, or did that come later?
Yeah, I've been making content since I was 14.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I blew up on Facebook a couple times. I had like Tyrese share my video when I was 14, Ludacris,
wow.
P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? It was different. It was different back then, bro.
Different era.
But yeah, I never really had like a fan base. People used to just take my videos and post it on their shit and not give me credit. But all of that changed like during COVID time.
So what was your content like early on? Was it always kind of the same vein of just you freaking out and reacting to things? Or
nah, it was just like comedy mainly. I'm like a funny person, like overall, outside of this angry action shit. I'm just naturally funny. So like I used to just like make like shit I used to just think of on some funny shit, but you know, it never really stuck as far as like an audience.
Because it's like, it's one thing to go viral. It's another thing to actually have hundreds of thousands of people or whatever really
Right.
paying attention to you on a consistent basis. And I've known so many people over the years who've had that problem. And it's actually like that with music too, where it's one thing to
Yeah.
have a catchy song and you could have millions of people making TikToks to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to know your name.
Right. My shit would just like get big enough for other people with bigger platforms to see it, and then they'll take my shit. Majority of like every time I went viral, it was always on somebody else's page, and they never like tagged me or anything like that. So,
Right.
but
Okay.
shit.
Do you think you like sort of found your style during COVID, or was it before that?
Nah. Around like August 23rd, actually exactly August 23rd, 2020. That's when like I posted my first TikTok video, and like it blew up overnight. I got 1 million followers overnight.
Overnight.
Yeah.
What?
Like from zero. I had made the account that day.
And what was the video?
It was just like angry reaction. I just reacted to like a girl making cake, and she was like, "Oh, the audience like talking about me," and I was just like defending her on some funny shit. You feel me? And that blew the up. People ate it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
1 million followers is insane, because even like people who get, if you have a viral video that gets 10 million views, it's not like you're getting 1 million followers
Right.
off that. Usually, if I got a video that got 10 million views, I would assume maybe I'm going to get like 20,000 followers.
For sure.
Extra, you know, like added on. I guess a brand new account might be a little different, just because there's probably like, you always hear about people who like get on the TikTok and just kind of explode in followers right away because they're already identifiable. Like we've seen that with a lot of pop stars and stuff, but I guess maybe to a lot of people, they had seen your memes, and then this was just like, oh, that's how we can actually follow
I think
them.
it was just like a breath of fresh air during those times. Cause like even though I'm angry reactions, all of my content was like on some positive shit. So I was just like positively like taking up for people or positively motivating people, just like acting angry as hell. So like the world done shut down. We all in the crib, you know, and it was just like this positive type of content creator doing it with a weird spin. So
Right.
like I think that's what made people gravitate towards me.
Yeah, because like, you know, that energy and enthusiasm a lot of times is what makes things go viral. But yeah, I guess that is kind of the main difference with your stuff stylistically, is that it's one thing to be acting angry and being mean.
Right.
It's another thing to be acting angry, but also kind of being like positive in a way and like life affirming.
For sure.
Taking the right side, like something people can believe in or be behind, but then also like framing it as you being pissed about it. you know?
Right. Something that would typically be negative
Right.
got like a positive twist to it.
Who would you say was the influences to your style in that regard?
I would give one of my big motivations to like Mr. T.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did not expect you to go that deep into the archives. That's amazing.
I was a huge Mr. T fan when I was little.
Yeah, and that's kind of him too. Like his whole
Yeah.
delivery is like he's pissed, but he's also like saying all this positive
Right,
shit. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. And he was just funny to me with all them damn chains on.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
So yeah.
And he's still like, I'm watching the Super Bowl, and he's still got a Super Bowl ad. You know, like his show has been, I don't know, off the air for like many decades at this point, and he's still looked at as somebody who's so famous and so ubiquitous that brands still want to use him for that kind of shit.
For sure. As far as my content go, he definitely a pioneer.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I was watching him as a kid, but I feel like his show was already like maybe even off the air when I was a kid, and it was just reruns.
Yeah, my dad was a Mr. T fan too, so I think like he got me into that shit.
A lot of rappers really probably owe a debt to Mr. T,
Nah, for sure.
you know, style wise.